Now call this regular session, amended agenda for Mayor and City Council, 6:10 p.m., February 10th. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You remain standing, please. Well, we have Pastor David Lopez from Abundant Life Assembly of God. Give us the invocation.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, holy be your name. In this season that we celebrate the death and resurrection of your Son, Jesus Christ, we ask for forgiveness, Lord. Give us the strength for those that are weak and weary. Give us wisdom to solve the issues of this present and the future. Heavenly Father, we pray for our uniformed men and women that are locally and abroad, that you bring them safe and sound to their families, that you send angels wherever they're at this moment. Heavenly Father, in this season of harvest, we ask that you bless every business, that we reap the benefits, that you bless every family that is here represented, that regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the problems worldwide, the economy, safety, that you continue to be blessing this city of Nogales, our county of Santa Cruz, that you continue to protect our borders, that you continue to bring peace, love, and happiness. We ask in the name that is above every name, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor David. I guess we kind of have a packed house here. We have a few presentations, and we're very proud of our next presentation and the recognition that the city of Nogales is making to the Nogales High School cheerleader state champions. Congratulations, and I'm going to go ahead and we're not going to have a lot of space because the list is long, but I want to again thank you as a group, and I'm going to name each individual participant in our cheerleader squad that participated, including with the coaches and managers that went ahead and brought that title here to Nogales and to the Nogales School District. We're all very proud of you. We're proud of being such outstanding students in every aspect of it, and also we thank the parents and all the family that supports you and those endeavors. And of course, we thank the coaches, the trainers, the managers, and everybody involved that has helped you achieve this great recognition and bringing that title to Nogales. So I'm going to start with Jocelyn Acosta. If you'll come up here, please. And I guess as I go ahead, I'm gonna step down here, I guess, and it seems easier to see from up here, but I'll stand right here, and that way at least give you the. There's so many of them that give me a moment to separate them a little. They're kind of. I'll just go ahead and what we'll do is we'll pass these out to each one, and then you can take group pictures of the whole group, I guess. But what it is, the City of Nogales presents this certificate of recognition to Jocelyn Acosta in recognition of outstanding performance and winning first place. And thank you, appreciate that. Thank you, Vice Mayor. And you can go ahead or I'll call them and you hand them out. And it's for first place in the 2016 AIA Spirit Line State Championship, and it's signed by your favorite mayor. Cielo Arochi. Cielo, it's the same recognition. Congratulations. I'll go ahead and give it to you, and in the group shot you can show your certificate. Thank you. We also have Victoria Barker. There's your certificate of recognition that we appreciate your efforts. And we also have Casey Bustamante. Congratulations. Great job. Here you go. We have Alex Cameron. Again, congratulations. And we have Jose Cañas. Jose, congratulations. Here you go. We have Daniela Chavez. Congratulations. There you are. We have Melina Felix. And we have Gianna Franco. Are you the one that being tossed up in the air? You are. Wow, brave soul. Congratulations. We also have Anais Gordin. Congratulations. And we have Jimena Gonzalez. Camille Heck. Congratulations. There you are. And we have Danitza Lorta. There you go. We have Andres Martinez. Andres, congratulations. Here you are. Boy, they're getting bigger. I think you can even catch me if I we also have, that was just a joke, right? We have Yael Monroy. You're good. Okay. Congratulations. We have Jesus Montes. Congratulations. Here you go. They're starting to look more like football players here. It's starting to feel small here. Okay. We have also Jessica Molina. Congratulations. There you go. And we have Jacob Moraila. Jacob. Jacob. There you go, Jacob. Thank you. Emma Oropesa. Okay, we'll give this to the coach. Okay, we have Dominique Osorio. We'll save it for the coach, for Dominique. We have Alessia Pavoni. Congratulations. Is that Pavoni or Pavoni?
Yes.
Yes, Pavoni. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, and we have Diana Ramos. Congratulations. There's your certificate. Thanks again. We have Vivian Renteria. Congratulations. Congratulations, Union. We have Mauricio Rivera. Mauricio, congratulations. Here you go. We have Vanessa Rodriguez. Vanessa, congratulations. There you go. And we have Janice Rivera. Is it Janice or Janice? Janice?
Yeah.
Janice, okay, Janice.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Tricia Trejo. Congratulations. There you go. And Urice Murillo. Okay. And we have manager Danitza Verdugo. Congratulations. And we have manager Miranda Valenzuela. Congratulations. We also have Coach Pat Valenzuela.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Coach Carolyn Hernandez. Congratulations. That's great. Okay. Well, this is the whole squad here. They've been led. I know that Coach Hernandez has been there many years, working hard. I think you brought other titles also, but this is really, it's always hard to duplicate because those other schools always want to compete harder with the one that previously won the title. So thank you guys for working so hard and bringing that title, and continue that work, and maybe next year we'll do it all over again. All right, thank you. I'll stand with the coach here.
Yeah, just gonna be like, guys, just goes in your wrist. Yeah.
All the proud parents. The hard workers. Thank you, parents.
Can I get one from the newspaper?
Before we're all done, I'd like to give the opportunity here. Well, one more picture.
Hey, number one, you guys, number one over
There
here.
you go.
Oh, okay.
This is the best one you guys will ever get. Guaranteed. Ready? And I lied, I'm taking like 5.
But I'd like the coach to say a few words since he's the one that worked so hard this year with all of you. Coach?
Okay, this is not so much about what they accomplished, but this is about who these kids are. They worked super hard at practice. We practiced a lot of hours. Cheered all the football and basketball games for boys and girls. And I just wanted to say that there's 16 kids here that have a grade point average of 3.5 and above, and I'm really proud of that. We have a lot of numbers. We have 5 seniors, 5 juniors, 9 sophomores, and 8 freshmen. So it's going to be a team that is going to continue winning. So, but I'm only going to be around a couple more years. I'm done. That's it for me. I've been here 32, coaching for 32 years with the cheerleaders, and so it's coming to that time. So, anyways, I'm really proud of them. I just want to congratulate them on this.
Carolyn, congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, I guess we'll go ahead and continue. Let's see. We kind of deviated a little from the agenda here. The reason I went to the presentation instead of going to call to the public, because the first presentation we had, you can see that the room was packed, and a lot of these state champs, you know, they got other things that they have to go attend. So it was best to attend that need, and but we'll go ahead and go unless officer, did you need to be out somewhere else right now, or do you want us to?
We're on your time, man.
You're okay?
Yes, sir.
We'll go ahead and continue with the call to the public, and then we'll continue with the presentation. So I got just only a couple here of calls to the public. I've got one here from Mr. Victor Fontes. If you'll go ahead and take the podium, state your name and address, and
Thank you, Mayor. This is for the mayor. I'll be brief. This is a copy that you will receive and have received before that we send to the city department heads and the former manager. It is about a plan to do a master plan for the Nogales Wash. It's required by the general 10-year plan the city approved in 2010. It's a very valuable project, and I'm here also representing Dr. Mark Frederickson, who directed the planning and architectural department at the U of A. Him and I have concocted this, and some other people that helped, but we would like to see this thing re-energized. The truth is, we presented it about 1.5 years ago and got nowhere. Our inquiries were never answered. We were basically stonewalled. And the reason I'm here is this project is self-funding. it's self-funding. I have to say that and offer details later on. The city has to energize it, get it going, and it'll fund itself. This has been experienced, and Dr. Frederickson has seen it and witnessed it happening in other cities and communities in the United States. Whether utility companies, railroads, departments of transportation, in this case the IBWC or the Water Quality Control Division of the state will come in and help fund the preliminary plan. And I'm saying, I will approach you soon and ask you for some kind of a meeting, and I'll bring the folks.
My secretaries in the back, Mr. Ponte, before you leave, please, Marisol, make an appointment for Mr. Pontes on the calendar.
Okay.
So that.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that.
And I came here on behalf of the other guys because we would get no responses. And it's extremely valuable. It's required by what was submitted to the state for future actual construction funding. That's what the 10-year general plans are about. And I have more to say, but I'll leave it at that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ponte.
Thank you, sir.
I'll be looking forward to that meeting with you. I think would be about an hour would be enough to cover.
That would be enough.
Okay.
Thank you. And I have to say, I'm a native of Nogales, and I was, I have a degree from the Arizona State University Department of Engineering, Architecture, and I've owned and operated an international civil engineering and planning firm for over 30 years that does work in Arizona and in Mexico. So we have skills, and thank you again.
Well, I thank you. I know you come from pioneer families and your heart's always been here in the community. And I'm looking forward to hearing more about this.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We have another presentation from Mr. Eduardo Ed Delcy, Chairman of the Library Board. Or I guess you're representing the Library Board.
Yes, I am. Thank
Go
you.
ahead and just state your name and address.
Thank you, Matt, very much, Mayor, council members. My name is Eduardo Delcy. I live in Keno Springs, Nogales. I'm speaking on behalf of our advisory board to the library. This is my second year that I'm serving as chair after 11 and a half years of service on the library board. And we just want to take this opportunity to support the mayor and council on the library IGA with the Santa Cruz County Board Administration, Board of Supervisors. We were quite concerned what happened last June, and we're working very hard to make sure that doesn't occur. And we hope that there's a continued friendly working relationship with the county so the library services can be provided to the city and to the rest of our county residents. So I'm here supporting your agenda item and encourage you to work, vote in the affirmative in that action. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dustin. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I know there. I know we have talking about the Board of Supervisors. We have Supervisor Mr. Reese here tonight with us. Did you have any words to say here and call to the public, or would you like to say something, Mr. Reese?
I guess I can do it now, that's fine.
Terry says I like to talk.
Come on. You know you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, honorable council people. Just want to say that early this morning and this afternoon, we had a meeting with the mayor, Mr. Kissinger, Charlene LaPlante, our deputy county attorney, Jennifer St. John, our incoming manager, and Melinda Meek, and we discussed the IGAs. I am very encouraged and that number one is on the elections is something that I know is very important to the city. There were some misunderstandings and there were some questions whether the county would or not run the elections for the city. I can't take credit for this, but I do want to thank our staff because they realize the importance of voting for the citizens of this wonderful community. And it would not be fair to them to penalize them because we can't get our act together on certain things. So we decided to move forward. We reviewed the IGA. I think there were just a couple of typos that were going to be acted on. We also discussed the animal control and the library one, and I want to thank you, Mr. Machado, for taking some time to meet with me this afternoon and what he's going to recommend to the board. We have no problem if you adopt those IGAs, pending some of the discussion that we had on some of the concerns that we have as a county with some of those IGAs. Once they're approved by your board and they come up to us, we will go ahead and review them. We will send back our comments and what we would like to see, and at that point, if the city is willing to accept those changes, then it's not a problem. As I told you today, I know at the county we're going to have a new manager. I think what you saw today, Mayor, one of the most important things for her is communication. And I think that if we're going to be successful as working together, there has to be that line of communication. And there has to be that willingness to be able to have confidence and trust in each other that when we do something, that everything that we act on is for the benefit of the community. The residents and the constituents of this wonderful county and city have elected us because they have confidence that we will be able to do things that are going to benefit the community as a whole. So I want to thank you for taking time. I know there was a misunderstanding. You showed up last Wednesday and it was this Wednesday. But regardless, thank you so much. I know you took the IGAs at that time and we made sure that we gave them to our legal department for their review and comment. So we're here to support, we're here to work with you, and we look forward to having these IGAs enacted, signed, and moving forward for the benefit of our community. So thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Supervisor Lee, for those encouraging, assuring words, and we'll definitely be at the table with you, and I'm sure we can. There were some small, I think, differences, little kinks that we need to iron out, and I don't think it'll be any problem. Thank you for coming over and letting us know, and I think we'll benefit the whole community with our efforts. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council, thank you so much.
Thank you, Manny. Let's see. I believe that's all we have for call from the public. Okay. Then we'll go back to our presentations, and this the next one. Almost sounds inviting. Coffee with a cop. I guess that sounds like at the end of the meeting it'd be a real nice thing to do. If it's true.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, community members, media that's here present. Thank you for being here today. I'm Sergeant Roberto Fierros. I am the lead public information officer for our police department. With the direction of our Chief of Police and his command staff, we are always seeking to improve community relations, communication with our community, and innovative ways of being able to communicate more effectively. So the key here is communication. And it's funny that you mentioned that this seems like a very inviting or enticing sign or title, because that's exactly what it's going for. We'd like to do that with this program called Coffee with a Cop. A little history on this: it came out of Hawthorne, California. Hawthorne Police Department in 2011 wanted an innovative way to be able to improve communication with their community. So what they did was they came up with this program where they go to the local restaurants and coffee shops. They invite the public out there to engage in a casual conversation over a cup of coffee. What better to do that with the local police, where good ideas could be exchanged, where positive interactions could be exchanged there, with no agenda, with no politics to push or anything that the police department wanted to put on the public. They could talk about last night's football game, or they could talk about the problem across the street from a neighborhood or a school. That proved to be very successful. And it was immediately exponential. It grew throughout the state and very quickly throughout the nation. Currently here we have other law enforcement agencies locally, like Sahuarita Police Department, Tucson Police Department, as far north as the Valley, Tempe, Mesa, Phoenix. They've all been engaging in Coffee with a Cop with their community, and it's proven to be successful as well. So we'd like to be the first law enforcement agency to bring it to our neighborhood down here. And we look forward to beginning with this program very soon. The way it works, like I said, is that we go out to the venues here, the restaurants. We ask if they'd like to host an hour or two of Coffee with a Cop. If they agree, then we'll go ahead and advertise that and have our public come. You're all invited also to engage in this, of course. And it's no better way than to sip a cup of coffee and talk to the public about anything that we could discuss or talk about. It breaks down barriers. It breaks down bad perceptions about the public towards the police, and maybe the police also towards the public. It creates a neutral, inviting environment, for good conversation and good community engagement. So, like I said, we look forward to advertising this and letting our community know that we're going to be taking part in this, and we also are sure that we'll see it grow and succeed like it's done in other communities with other police departments as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Officer Quiros. I appreciate that. Yes. I believe I don't have to ask our council. I know I'll endorse it, and I believe everyone here will be supportive of I think that's a great idea.
Thank you, Mayor.
It's going to bring very positive results overall to our community, and I thank you guys for stepping up with that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I also want to say a few words about the way our law enforcement protects us here in this community. It's just outstanding the job they do, and the way they work together with their counterparts, the different agencies, from the federal level all the way down to the county and city, working together to keep that good image of Nogales, and above all, keep it safe. I think most of us know that there was a home invasion a few weeks ago that really, when the chief told me, I think before we hung up, we prayed that God help us find those culprits as soon as possible, and to protect all of you. Because aside from the shield you carry, I believe the biggest shield you have is God's protection. And so my heart went out to all of you, went out to the community, and I continue to be on my knees asking that these guys be brought to justice, that they be caught, that they wouldn't, stuff like this doesn't happen in our community. But above all, it was you guys out there doing the legwork. It was you guys putting yourself in danger and getting out there and doing the work that needed to be done. And so that's why my prayers went out to you to make sure that nobody got hurt in that process, and that I would give you wisdom and open your eyes and give you the skills that you need at the moment to track these guys down. It's unbelievable how fast you guys did. I was amazed when you called the press conference today to give us the good news, and you even showed some pictures. They look like some desperados. I mean, those guys look, there's a mean streak in them. You can see it in their faces. And I thank you guys for doing that work, working with each of the agencies that work unitedly with you to bring them and get them out of the street, so they won't cause any more harm or danger to anyone. And I'm just so grateful that you guys seem to have a spirit of discernment about you, that you guys sometimes can see a person and you know what they're about. And that's a gift. That's a gift of God, I believe. And I really want to thank you how you apply it to your work for the safety of our community. God bless all of you, and thank you again. Keep on doing that great work that you're doing. We feel like we live in the best community in the nation.
Thank you, Mayor.
Because of your efforts.
I think I could speak for all of us, including our chief and our assistant chief, when I say we're proud to serve our community.
Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I know we have Lieutenant Robert Thompson up with PD. I guess I'll say. Hub, I don't know. That's a new word for me here.
Yes, it's a new techie term which we'll talk about in a little bit here.
Mayor, council members, my name is Robert Thompson, Lieutenant with the Nogales Police Department. First of all, I want to thank you for those words. They certainly touched my heart like they did the rest of the troops we work with. So let's get straight into it. I got a couple handouts here in case you guys want to look through those as we go through the topics we're going to be talking about today. This card as well. USPD Hub, basically what it is an approach or a way for the technologically savvy, I guess you could call it, or nowadays our younger generation will reach out to us and provide information as we will provide information for them. Just like Sergeant Fierros was talking about, Coffee with the Cop is a frontal, sit-down, face-to-face type of dialogue which we encourage. However, our younger generation may not sometimes feel so comfortable about that. And there's reasons why. They were brought up in a technologically advanced environment, which we are actively trying to catch up to. So with that, what is USPD? Basically, it's a community outreach tool that provides current and critical two-way communication between law enforcement and the community that we will help to improve safety and public relations. A couple of points we'll talk about would be the update on the community, event calendar, tips, one-touch call feature, gallery, and how this app is absolutely free to anybody with a smartphone with a data package or a tablet and Wi-Fi service at home. This is absolutely not in service, which means you will sign up, download the app, sign up, and you will get information that we publish through the actual application. How do we update the community through this app? Basically, it personalizes your agency by staying in touch with citizens with information about the department's activities, providing enhanced customer service to the community, utilize predefined templates such as bulletins, missing persons, stolen vehicles, and more. Back to what you were talking about earlier today, Mayor, the information in which the person we still have outstanding on that home invasion is actively published on that application. I encourage everybody in the room, anybody out there, you guys, all of us, to get into this app and start getting these notifications as quickly as possible. Our two eyes turn into hundreds of thousands with the help of you guys. The event calendar. Basically, this tool, this app, will allow us to post any events we may have around the community that involves the Nogales Police Department or the city itself. We can go in there, say, hey, we're going to have coffee with a cop. Such and such location, such and such time, vengan todos. Invite everybody. Come on over, we'll have a good time, we'll talk and address those people who like the face-to-face contact, which we highly encourage as well. The gallery, we'll post those pictures up. We want people to know that, hey, we are the friendliest bunch of people you'll ever meet. That is bar none the truth. So with that, we'll post those interactions to everybody for the whole world to see. We will receive tips from this application. There's two ways we'll give tips. Number one, anonymously. A lot of people like to deliver information anonymously. That's fine, that's absolutely great. We love any information and tidbits we can get from anybody at any given time. The other way is a citizen can actually, when they sign up, put their information and send out a tip. Hey, this is happening down the road. Hey, I just drove up into a car crash and it looks horrible. With this app, of course, if they're not driving, they can actually physically stop there, take a picture, send it to us. We will get coordinates to where they're at, and we can visually see how bad or how serious of an accident, car crash we're going to. We can pretty much assess the situation before we get there. We can have the troops rolling before we have to get there and assess and call it in. It is fantastic what this app does. Now, another feature is the one-touch call button. Okay, so you're cruising down the road, you see something, you're trying to fumble through your phone to call information or call 911 or whatever. Hit the app, hit the call button, and it automatically dials for you. It'll call our non-emergency number, 287-9111. You can automatically be answered by one of our communications officers. They'll take the information, again addressing the face-to-face, or in this case, telephone-to-telephone type of interaction from the community. Again, quick and easy. I encourage, again, everybody to download the app. It's available under USPD Hub. If you do a search under your Google Market, your Apple Market, or your Windows app Market. Those are all available there. Again, free. It doesn't cost anything on this. You know, it only costs what your smartphone services, your data service is. And again, this is just a snippet of how it looks when you download the app. That is currently the way it's up on the site right now. Just to touch up on a simple little question here that I've been asked a couple times down the road is, you know, technology reaches out to everybody. So those who want to use it, we can use it and will use it. How much does this cost? This is costing us $1,800 a year for all that information to get received. Another thing that people are always asking is like, hey, what's happening at such and such location? Or we have an accident, detours, shutdowns of streets or whatever. We will post this. You will get that alert. You will know firsthand what's happening within, I think the upload time is 10 to 15 seconds after we hit publish. So this is up to the minute, direct information. And again, I encourage everybody to download it.
Can I ask you a question? Sure. This is just from Nogales, right? How far out does it go?
Actually, this app, this will just deliver information to us, the administrators of the actual app, which would be just about everybody in this room, supervisors and everything. If you have information from, per se, you're in Tucson and you need to send in a tip, we'll be more than happy to take that tip and send it to the proper authorities. So I don't discourage any reporting of any kind. We want that. Typical to 88 crime, which is a telephone line up in the Pima County area, this could be our 88 crime through technology.
That's great.
Yes.
That's quite a tool.
Yes, it is. And again, it's
very economical as far as
very much so. And again, it serves two purposes: communication from us, and from the people, from the community. And also, a lot of kids love it. Social media, they're addicted to it. We all love it. The other thing that this app does is it connects anybody to our social media sites, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, what other handles do we have? So we have a ton of them. We're going out there and using technology for our advantage.
And all this information will also be shared when you have like a copy with the copy.
Definitely. So I sent out 10 little business cards. There's more outside. It's got the QR code there, which is a quick reference code. You can just scan it on your phone. You'll download the app without even we're making it as easy as possible for everybody to have.
That's really great. These programs are, when you think about it, coffee with a cop, that's going to really show the criminal element that now there's a lot more eyes out there on the street than just the officers that are wearing the uniform or are out there protecting us. Because citizen involvement is just, that's a great asset to have also. That we, at least the majority, will get involved and be that extra set of eyes and let that criminal element know that we mean business. We mean that we're not going to tolerate any kind of criminal activity in our midst. And I think that'll unite us and make it so much easier to report any kind of criminal activity, that hopefully, we'll show some kind of zero tolerance where we won't have to, it'll be hopefully Nogales will be one of the lowest crime rate cities in the nation. That would be a great goal to have, and I think with this, we can achieve it. So thanks again, because you guys are, it's amazing. I've been born and raised here, and I've never seen the involvement that we have from our officers in uniform that are doing the job that I don't think they've ever done in the past. Maybe it's because of the technology and whatnot, but also it's not only that. I know you guys have made that effort to connect with the community, and that means a lot. That means a lot, and I thank you for doing that, because I think together we'll achieve those goals. Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you. Here we go. We have some recommendations tonight. Is there any other questions that you have? Anybody have for the officers? Oh, there we go.
Question. Sure. Does this also provide crime statistics on burglaries, homicides, that sort of thing as well on that website?
Actually, it does not. It's not geared for that. However, we can actually input that under our surveys area, which shouldn't be a problem. But however, you get the first public copy of our 2015 annual review or report. So
Thank you.
fresh off the prints as of mid-afternoon today. So,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
but yeah, that's certainly a great idea. That we'll,
The only reason I ask is because a lot of folks that want to come visit Nogales have this perception that it's such a scary place to go to the border. If they can have access to this sort of stuff and the crime statistics, the numbers never lie, like you said.
Mr. Mayor,
Chief.
Council, if I could take just a second. due to the fact that this question came up. I just want to make it real clear that the Nogales Police Department does everything, every effort that we pursue is directed for our community, for the welfare of our community, and to offset what this gentleman said here, the fear of crime. And I want to make it clear that, again, our 2015 statistics, our Part 1 and Part 2 crimes went down 10%. That's double digits for the last 3 or 4 years. So that's not me. It's not me. I'm not here to get any, accolades from council, the mayor, or anyone else. That's a team effort by the men and women that you see in uniform here, and as well as those that are in our criminal investigations division. So we want to thank you also for the leadership on the council, and we wish you all the best as well as we transition wherever we're going to go in this transition. But know that the police department stands ready and prepared, and we appreciate your continued support as we move forward in improving our condition here, technologically and other ways. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Going to number 4, again, it kind of gives you a sight of relief and pride at the same time. The things that have happened here recently, and the great work all the law enforcement, local law enforcement agencies have done for us. Again, we don't know how to thank you, but boy, I'll tell you, it's a real blessing. Thank you. And we'll go to tourism task force recommendations. Number 4. I guess we're at that point where our committees are going to report to us, and so kind of give us maybe a little direction, advice, input. We've been looking forward to it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Appreciate the opportunity to present today. My name is Frank Moreno. I'm the chairman of the Tourism Commission, and here to present basically the work that we've been doing for the last few weeks in terms of trying to create a positive perception, like the chief mentioned. We want to change the perception that Nogales is a scary place to come to, because tourists seem to think that there's a lot of crime involved. This whole Chapo thing is going on with the drugs. Nogales, to me, is one of the safest places in the world. We've got so much law enforcement here that no criminal would be in his right mind to come and do business here. And that's the perception we need to change. I mean, right now, the Department of State has a warning out for travelers to Mexico. That's unfounded. That's absurd. If you look at the crime statistics from both the county and the city, it does not concur. So basically, the goal of the Tourism Committee is to change that perception, as well as come up with ideas to market the city of Nogales and brand the city of Nogales as a great place to come to and visit, like it used to be. So basically, my goal today, and I'll keep it short and sweet because it's still a work in progress, and we appreciate the support from the City Council, that we want to basically adopt certain metrics and get the support from the City Council as to what does the Tourism Committee believe the City Council needs to do to change the perception and encourage that additional tourism. So here's the bullet points I'm coming up with. The peso devaluation, I mean, that's an economic worldwide thing we cannot control. What we can control is the perception. Again, back to the perception. If the city is receptive to tourists, we are going to have a clean city. We're going to be welcoming to our visitors. That's the type of thing that we need. So basically what we're looking for from the Tourism Committee is this. Adopt metrics to keep the city supervisors accountable, to keep the city clean and inviting. When you see a lot of garbage on the streets, in front of stores, I mean, what perception does that give you? I mean, if you're in front of you maintain your house because you want to keep it presentable. That's no different. And that's the goal of what we want the City Council to at least adopt, is make the city people who are in charge of keeping that city clean accountable. Whether it's weekly reports, what street they cleaned, whether it's a monthly report or a weekly report. Okay, what have you guys done? Show us what you're doing, that type of thing. The other thing is teaching the merchants of our city good customer service skills. I mean, if you go shopping downtown and you come across with a server who is rude to you, or a salesperson at a retail facility who doesn't respect you and treat you nicely, I mean, what does that say about our city? You know, the tourists that come down here from Green Valley or anywhere else, from wherever they are from. If the city can come up with some type of a customer service training program offered to the merchants of their city, that I think would also help to change that type of a perception. Because that people go away with that. Perception is 9/10 of reality. We all know that. As far as the marketing plan that we're coming up with and putting together, we want to move forward with the Chamber of Commerce, Miss Olivia. She's here. We want to make sure that branding strategy that was submitted to the city in 2013 is carried forward and updated, and we want to basically come up with some additional ideas. Right now, that plan that was put in place is a starting point. Our goal is to take that further and basically incorporate social marketing strategies. Because obviously, whenever anybody wants to go to a city, I mean, what do you typically do? You go to the web and find out where you're going. What is you're expecting? Or if you're going to go shopping in a particular store, what do? You go to the website and you look and see what's going on, or who's recommending that particular store. Same thing with the marketing of the chamber. We want to create an action plan and a marketing plan that develops that further from social marketing. We don't have a specific plan yet, it's a work in progress, but we want to get the support from the city council that says, okay, move forward on that. Here's your budgeted amount. Let's see what we can do to work within that budgeted amount and go from there. Current city events and other events that we're looking at to market the city of Nogales and continue the branding process. Maintain the current Class A events that the city has, the Christmas parade, etc. One of the things that we were looking at was, when you attended our meeting a few weeks ago, Mr. Mayor, was reincorporating the Cinco de Mayo as a Class A event. It's a cultural event. We're a Hispanic community. It makes sense. And you know, tourists come down here they want the cultural experience. You know, that to me says that they want to see that type of thing. So I think Cinco de Mayo makes sense to reclassify that as a Class A event. Also, the other thing that we were talking about as part of the committee is considering hosting city events on Morley Avenue and using the city's property there at Palo Duro for those events. I mean, it makes sense because there's a room. Morley Avenue was used for the filming of, The Hangover 3. We know that's good marketing right there. And I'm sure the merchants would appreciate that, because I'm sure they're hurting for traffic and people to come see what they're selling. It just makes sense. The other events that we're looking at to support is several other events that we've had presenters come and talk to us about was the Cycles of Peace annual Nogales Bicycle Classic. The participants and the families involved bring money to the hotels, the restaurants. It changes the perception of the community. We encourage them to stay in Nogales versus Green Valley or outside of Nogales. We've got some good hotels in town that will accommodate those folks. And we need to show them that it is safe to stay in Nogales, changing that perception. The Charles Mingus Festival, the Jazz Festival, great cultural event. The Little League, the regional tournament. Obviously, we've got world champions here from a couple of years ago. Let's market that. Let's leverage that, and show people that yes, you don't have to stay in Green Valley. You can come into Nogales and stay at Holiday Inn Express or Candlewood Suites. Some of these hotels that are definitely good hotels to stay in. The Patagonia Bike Festival, again, great participants, lots of family that come into town. Day of the Dead Festival, again, a cultural event. Not religious related, it's simply a cultural event. I mean, it has nothing to do with religion. Although some people would consider it that way, it's still a cultural event because we're a Hispanic community. And then, possibly others that we're still in the process of evolving and developing as a committee, and that we hope we'll receive the support from the City Council. So thank you for your time, Mr. Mayor, City Council. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions from the council? Yes, Vice Mayor?
Mr. Mayor, a lot of these recommendations are going to be tied to our upcoming budget process. I'd like staff to be prepared to address a lot of those, and also I'd like staff to come back to council at some point in the near future to speak on some of the recommendations that can be implemented now and how we can move forward with them.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, well,
Not yet. Not yet. We'll have them later on.
oh, okay. Well, we thank you for all of the very sound recommendations. I kind of like the, maybe, like you said, training of some sort for our merchants, for the staff they have, for people that are out there. You know, I think we need to put maybe a good program together, at least an informative one, maybe the proper way of addressing not only our tourism, but our local people. And I mean local, but even the people that come from across the border, so that they'll just, you know, make it a more pleasant experience for everybody that, because sometimes even, you know, I'm sure living here, we've all encouraged at one time or another a negative experience in our, you know, sometimes somebody's having a bad day, and we need to kind of remind them that even though somebody's having a bad day, you're still supposed to be a level of professionalism out there that, you know, hopefully maybe the supervisors or the owners of those establishments will notice or recognize when one of their employees might be having a bad day, and they'll have a little stand up, and or if they're feeling ill, give them a few hours to go and rest and recuperate and come back a little more refreshed. Whatever it is that they need, it's better for them to work with a positive view of things, and also feel the support of those local owners or supervisors of that business establishment, because, you know, sometimes we're in the process and we're so gung-ho, I guess, and I think most owners know that, but sometimes we're looking at the numbers and we forget to see the needs of our employees and the condition that they show up for work that day. Whether it be, it might be an emotional stress, it might be a family problem, it might be just they're fighting bad health or whatever it is. Maybe there can be maybe we can kind of communicate a sense of consideration, just to make sure that we're all helping each other here in our community. So thank you for bringing those points up. We'll try to work with that and see if we can get some kind of positive message out there.
Thank you, Mr. Ray. I appreciate your support. Thank you, City Council.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job. Another program that goes hand in hand with tourism is economic development, and we see that they're ready also to give our
Mr. Mayor? Thank
Yes,
you very much.
I'm sorry. Got carried away here with the paper.
Council and Mayor, my name is Jaime Chamberlain, and I was asked to be the chairman of our Economic Development Task Force. I want to thank each and every one of the members. We met 6 times in December and January, every Monday at 3 o'clock, and I'd like to thank Arnold Quijada, Terry Shannon, Mike Karam, Bruce Bracker, Niels Ehrman, and Roberto Guevara for helping me in developing what we believe is a starting point, as Mr. Frank just pointed out. It is a work in progress. These are recommendations that our task force puts together, and it was through a tremendous amount of debate. I'll tell you what, we learned a lot about our city. We learned a lot about what we do very, very well, and we learned a lot about what we don't do very well at all. So I think it was a learning experience for all of us, and it was a very sometimes heated debates, but they were all very educational at the end. And what we came up with was a little bit similar to what the Tourism Task Force did. We were asked to look at 4 different points and 4 different issues that affect our community. One being the peso devaluation, two being the SR 189 Mariposa corridor, three being the city building codes and development standard codes, and the last issue we were asked to look at was the city annexation strategy. And if you allow me to, I'd like to start with the city annexation strategy, which was actually put up in to council at several administrations previous to this one. Our recommendation to the city council is exactly what we're doing right now, is putting this on hold at the current time, but not putting it away in a drawer to not look at in the near future. We believe that our community at this point in time is probably not ready to go forward with any annexation, either north, south, east, or west at this point. But we believe that we need to continue the study in a way that would make it economically beneficial to the state, to the city, to annex when you are ready to annex. We believe there are a few things there that we need to improve, including our fire and our police department, to be able to give the citizens of the area that you're proposing to annex the same service that you give within the city limits that we have right now. So at the moment, we would recommend that you hold off, but continue to explore and continue to talk about it as a possibility in the future. Annexation in general is always very good, but only when our cities and our departments are ready to give the level of service that those businesses in those areas or the citizens in those areas deserve. So as of the moment, that would be our recommendation for city annexation. I'm going to go on to the peso devaluation. Mr. Moreno was very correct in saying that the peso devaluation is in no one's hands but the market in itself and the world economy, and especially our southern partners in Mexico. There are things that we came up with that were very, very similar to what the Tourism Department Task Force came up with. Having clean, fast, and friendly service is an utmost importance to our community in every way, not just our retail stores, but also our police departments, our fire departments, every department that we have in the city, and every business that is in the city. We believe that those people who come and want to spend money, whether it's buying their groceries at Walmart or whether it's investing in a $5 million refrigerated facility, are going to want that fast, friendly, and clean service that they all deserve. That is one thing that has stood out with many other communities of our size and of our stature, and I think that we need to improve on that. We need to do things just a little bit better, and mostly it's because we need it that bad. So that would be one of our recommendations, working with our chamber and putting that program through. If there's a training concern, as far as like what Mr. Moreno said, seems like a great idea, and working with the chamber looks like that would be the avenue for the city to work with. We also came up in our discussions about going line by line through the city budgets at different intervals in different times during the year, during the fiscal year. We were very, very pleased to see that the city, on average, had underspent their budget by approximately $680,000 for the last 5 years. That is a tremendous, tremendous, and a very difficult thing to do, is to come in under budget. The previous city manager did a great job in making sure that that was part of his objective, and I believe as any businessman in this community or as in any city administration would say, that a fiscal responsibility is your #1 responsibility. So coming in for the last 5 years at $680,000 and on average below your fiscal budget is amazing, and it's a testament to the council and a testament to the administrators who administer our money. So we appreciate that a great deal, and we'd like to continue to do that. Right now, we were told that we don't always go line by line at intervals during the budget cycle. That once the budget is passed, then that's what it is, and each department is at liberty to spend that money in the way that is stipulated in the budget. But sometimes when you have critical times during our own businesses, we have expenditures that are budgeted and we end up not doing them at all. Just because of the fear of what may happen 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 15 months from now. And I just think it's a great exercise for all of you to go through. Once again, with the new city manager coming in, I think that'd be great to do that in the near future. One of the other things that we talked about that consider the peso devaluation is the amount of visitors that our community has. I would encourage the city council and to continue their support of the Greater Nogales Santa Cruz County Port Authority and their efforts in making the efficiencies at the Nogales ports of entry much cleaner, much faster, and much more expedient. Each one of our visitors that comes across comes to spend money in our communities, and if they have bad experiences at our ports of entry, it hinders our ability to continue to grow. So the support that the council has given the Port Authority has been amazing. The Port Authority works diligently on a daily basis on our staffing issues to bring those cars across, bring those trucks across, and bring those walking pedestrians across the border as soon as they can so that they can do their business in our community. And that's something that we encourage that you continue. Also, putting together a resolution to our Arizona congressional delegation and seeing that there is pressure from our community so that the Arizona delegation gets behind our efforts as well as the state governor's office also. So that is peso devaluation. I have the Mariposa corridor and the city building codes that I'll leave for the end. The SR 189 corridor, Mariposa, that is being talked about in many different venues. We seem to be in the words and the thoughts of many stakeholders throughout the state of Arizona. The Maricopa Association of Governments and the Pima Association of Governments has made our little 3.5 mile project at SR 189 in Mariposa a very large topic, along with the Fresh Produce Association, along with the Maquiladora Association, and along with the Produce Broker or the U.S. Customs Association, and in conjunction together, all under the umbrella of the Nogales Santa Cruz County Port Authority, have really pushed this and have come to great strides in very short period of time. So we continue to ask for and recommend that you continue your support of this project. It's only going to be something that will be beneficial for the community and for the state in general.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Well, you're on the subject right there, and could you just name some of the local agencies and key players and stakeholders that are working under the Port Authority to make all these things happen? I believe that I think in general, the public is not aware of their efforts, and I'm really pleased and amazed at the great work you all do. If we could give them a little honorable mention, because they give of their time, their effort, from their pockets, they invest to make sure that Nogales is going to be a thriving community in the near future. And since you're well aware, you're there all the time and working hard with them, I'd like you to also just mention.
You know, the Port Authority is made up by the city of Nogales, the Santa Cruz County officials. You are the vice chairman of that entity. We are also made up by the Fresh Produce Association and our 150 members. We are also made up by the Maquiladora Association. We are made up by the U.S. Customs House Brokers Association, Nogales Economic Development Community Foundation, and also Mr. Shannon.
Nogales Community Development.
Yeah, Nogales Community Development. Mr. Shannon is also the first and past chairman of the Port Authority, and we are very, very lucky to have had him when we had him and we were ready, and we had a shovel-ready project when U.S. federal funding of TARP projects came about, and our project at the Mariposa Port of Entry was actually number 8 or number 9 on our list, and when the TARP monies came about, they ended up taking the projects that were shovel-ready, and the Mariposa Port of Entry was shovel-ready after 12 years of a tremendous amount of work by Terry Shannon, Harlan Capon, J.B. Manson, Bruce Bracker, a great many amount of people that really put up their time, their money, their effort, and throughout extremely difficult odds of getting a brand new port of entry, and which we now enjoy now. And now we have to fix the part where our corridor works within the city limits. There are issues with SR 189 that have to be resolved, bringing on traffic from Mariposa, and especially if we get to the point where we need to be at, which is at a 4,000 truck capacity, which was, that building was built to hold, and it is up to all of the people in this room and the councils that are present and the councils in the future to make sure that we don't put obstacles in the ways so that we can grow our businesses and in turn grow our community. So those are the people, Mr. Mayor, that deserve a lot of credit. So we encourage you to continue in along with the Port Authority in looking for the full build out of option D, which is a very expensive build out. We are still in the works of negotiating funding for that. We have some time, but time is always relevant, and the sooner you do things, the better you do things, especially with state governments and federal governments. They tend to work pretty slow, even slower than local governments. That was a joke. We also, in the continuation of the whole infrastructure scheme, we encourage the council to look for a westbound right-hand turn lane on Mariposa Road, which seems to have been made our street there on Mariposa very difficult, anywhere between 3 and 4 hours of difficult traffic going westward on Mariposa and turning onto the right-hand turn lane onto I-19. Sometimes we have traffic backlogged up to the 3rd stoplight. So that would be very difficult. And that's something that we need to continue to push for. And also, we would like to encourage the council to begin undertaking a traffic study of Mastic Way and Mariposa Road, and getting that on your radar so that we can start to look at what the options may be for those intersections that seem to be extremely difficult at critical periods of time for our traffic flow and for our city. These are safety issues. These are issues of efficiency also. So with that, I'd like to finish up with the building code and developmental standards codes and our recommendations on those. We have the first thing is that we'd like to see the city finish and complete and expedite the development standards codes and rewrite what is in progress for the adoption of the buildings that we're now doing and the types of buildings that we're now doing. This, Aaron, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we are about 40% done on the rewrite, which started.
It's on the shelf. Yeah.
It's on a shelf. See, got to get it off the shelf. And we're about 40% done with work that started when?
Well, the review happens like 10 years ago. And,
Mr. Mayor, can we get him to come to the podium so we can hear him?
The development code review was done about 10 years ago. My understanding is that was presented to the city council at the time and was decided not to move forward with that. Has been sitting on the shelf for those years. About 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we picked that up and we have been doing little by little with our the help from the legal department, updating chapters so we can have a new presentation of a new development code that's updated and working better for that's what we have. The one that we have is really obsolete and needs a lot of reviews.
So that, we would ask, we would recommend that the council bring this up and make it a very high priority on your list to finish the developmental codes. There are many, many developers. Just in the last month, I alone have met with about 4 different developers from within the city, within the state of Arizona and from outside the state of Arizona that are extremely interested in doing business and making buildings here in Nogales. Yet our codes are right now kind of confusing, to say the least, and they are subject to interpretation as far as what many developers have commented. As Mr. Moreno said earlier, perception is everything. Having a clean city gives you a perception of organization and of expediency. And having our developmental codes clear and done, which were supposed to have been done many, many years ago, also gives developers the encouragement and the ability to have confidence in whatever they're going to be developing, whether it may be an industrial park or just one building alone, that they have the confidence that they have everything in front of them that they need going forward. Therefore, they will not have challenges or headaches in the way of their buildings. We also looked at the lack of the departments and how they have been filled, the department heads. It is absolutely outrageous that we have had the department heads for some critical departments not been filled for months now, and I believe that starts with you all. If we can make that another high priority, we would appreciate that, and it is not easy getting qualified people. We understand that, and you don't want to just hire anybody just to hire them. You want to get the right person for the right job, and we understand that. It's just that we need to do this as soon as possible. There is a tremendous amount of potential in our community. We've built over 1 million square feet in the last 3 years of warehousing space here, and with a value of over $60 million. That's fantastic. It should be a goal, for every year, and we just look at what the opportunities are here in our community, and we need to have the department heads in place, and we need to have the developmental codes written and clear. We would also like for the developmental codes to be written for the 21st century building codes in a friendly package, so that we can not only be ready for people who come to our community who want to invest here, but actually distribute it to developers where we are soliciting their business. Not only just waiting for them to come to us, but we need to start promoting our own community, and by having the rewritten code like this to the 21st century standards would really help in the promotion of our community. There are other things that you have there on your recommendation sheet. As Mr. Moreno said, these are only recommendations. We are willing to work with the council at any given time. You just ask us and we will reconvene to investigate and to debate any issues which you all may come up with and that we can be a help with. We really appreciate the opportunity as citizens to help you in this endeavor. It is not an easy task. we always seem to come back to one thing, and it's funding. And how do we pay for everything? We know that, we do it, we live it in our own businesses every day, and that's another task force though. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Chambelán, thank you so much. It's, you know, we're privileged, I guess, I'm sorry, I guess, Vice Mayor, you have a question?
I just have a few questions and comments, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I want to thank Jaime and the rest of the committee members that did such a diligent job in working through, as you know, a lot of controversial issues, and a lot of what you addressed are nuts and bolts of what makes a city happen, and I know it's not an easy task. But I wanted to I guess, address some of the things that you brought up. The City of Tucson is going through a severe revenue crunch, and they're looking at ways to generate revenue and cut costs. And one of their plans is an annexation plan, but the driver for the City of Tucson is property tax. And as you know, we don't have a property tax, and that's maybe something that we are going to have to address in the near future, because that sort of addresses your last issue on where the funds come from. Certainly, annexation is not going to work when you're just looking at property or at sales tax revenue. But the other thing that's disconcerting is, as other communities are growing, state shared revenues and other revenues are based upon population counts. And if the city of Nogales is not growing, our slice of the pie is going to continue to get smaller and smaller. So that's another concern that we're going to have to address in the near future. Things that I think you and Port Authority can assist us with, and we as council can be more active in. We are going to be going to the National League of Cities conference. We do go to state functions as well. If we could get copies of information packets on items that you wish us to address, because we will be meeting with congressional delegates as well as other congressmen if we have the opportunity, and women if we have the opportunity. So if we could get that information to us, I think all of us would do our best to get that word across to our electeds up in Washington or at the state level. I like the idea of getting more involved in the budget process, and one thought that I came up with is, as you were talking, the role of perhaps a citizens committee to assist us in that process, to maybe look at it biannually, which would tie us to the budget process. So as we were about to embark in the budget process, it would be nice if perhaps the citizens committee could look at our budget and look at revenues and expenditures and give us recommendations. That way, when we go into the budget process, we'd be better prepared. I like the idea of getting our staff more customer service friendly, and I would encourage staff, particularly HR director, to start looking at programs to start sharing and implementing with the various departments. On your capital projects and other projects, I think it's very important that we as council probably start developing our own legislative agenda to look at federal and state level projects, so we can have prepared positions on them instead of reacting to a situation. So if we would meet each year and decide these are priorities for us at the state level, these are priorities for us at the federal level, that way we can start getting out in front of everybody. I think it's very important, you mentioned that we participate in ADOT Transportation Board meetings. As you know, the mayor of Maricopa has made it his job to go to every Transportation Board meeting, and all the board members know him by name, and Maricopa is getting state funding for their projects, and it's incumbent upon us to be active in that role. So I would encourage, if not one of us on the council or the mayor, that city staff be prepared to start going to meetings such as that.
On that note, I would just like to remind all of you that I believe it's, Terry, February 19th? On February 19th, the Arizona Transportation Board will be meeting here in Nogales. I believe that it is a tremendous opportunity for all of Nogales to host these people here and to show them, Mr. Parada, you've always said about our hospitality and about our friendly nature. but not only that, about our economic futures. Everyone always says you try to secure the border. Well, I'm not trying to secure the economic part of our border, and it's not an either-or issue, but having you all there, present at the ADOT meeting, and all in support of the SR 189 funding, in whatever way it comes in, if it comes in at 64 million, or if it just comes in, or if we can find a mechanism to do the full build out at 200 million, that would be absolutely fantastic. But to show a force and a show of unity, to have you all present, would really, really mean a lot. These things are very, very competitive. We are competing with almost every other community in the state who has just as bad issues and just as good projects as we do, as we think we do. So having you all present is extremely important. So February 19th here in Nogales, it's going to be at the county. You all okay with each other, right? You can go to the county?
We got the county right here.
Are they welcome?
Okay, right.
Everybody's
Not gonna be a
welcome.
problem.
You're welcome at home. Good.
Won't be a problem at the door.
Not a problem.
In order to get them to get, is there a problem with convening? Is there a law or anything to go to another?
I'm just pointing out something real important. Whether we have issues between us and the county is one thing, but for a region, we need to work together, and we will work together. And I would encourage the PA, if they can give us briefing material, and one of the things I suggested is put nameplates at the table, so we don't all sit at the same table, and all the state board members don't sit at the same table, but spread us out so that maybe we can get, one board member to 2 or 3 council members and a supervisor member. That way we can pound on them on the importance of SR 180.
There's several community members that will be testifying in front of them and giving their presentations.
But if we have them at a dinner table.
That will happen the previous evening. That'd be fine. That'd be great. We can do that.
The other thing that you touched on SR 189, and there's a couple other big projects that we need to address, and one is the overweight fees and the bridge study. I've heard from the consultant. He contacted me and said, what is the city going to do? So we need to start moving forward with some sort of plan on the overweight fees and the bridges that they identify that needed work. And then the one that you continually harped on is Industrial Park Drive, coming up with a solution for that. We cannot no longer have that eyesore. We need to come up with a plan to address it.
And the IOI is always the elephant in the room.
Enough said. And I guess the last thing I wanted to bring up is image. And it hurts to hear what you said, and you're right. The buck stops with us, and we need to start acting. And it is very discouraging to hear when you have local developers tell you that they're never going to do anything in the city of Nogales because it's so unfriendly. We have to change that perception. We have to change that culture, and we need to start doing that as council members.
We're very fortunate we still have the opportunities that we still do, and we're still very fortunate that we have many other developers and many people looking at Nogales as a great opportunity. You mentioned the population and us losing population. It doesn't have to be that way. We can reverse that. We can encourage our kids to start staying here if we have good jobs for them, but it all starts with good infrastructure. It all starts with a good attitude, and it all starts with improving our image. So that's the way we retain a lot of our citizens, and obviously having other industries would help. Having a good mine in the area would really help a lot. Not to push your agenda, but any other industry that is more than welcome. Doesn't always just have to be maquilas and produce, because that's historically been here. We're open to any other type of industry. It could be the aerospace industry. It could be anything else, and we are just as ready as we can be. We just need to start looking like we are. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, tomorrow there's ADOT meeting.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
What's that? I'm sorry.
We have an ADOT meeting tomorrow in Benson.
Oh, a board meeting.
A board meeting.
Yeah. We had one yesterday.
Mr. Vice Mayor, you rattled off a number of items for potential consideration. Is the direction from the council for this task force to reconvene and address some of these issues, or do you want to kind of leave it the way it is now?
Mr. Mayor, I think we've got recommendations, but we need to start addressing those during the budget process.
I think we need to work on some of these issues and probably get with staff and see how we can come up with.
What we can do is, on these recommendations, try to put a dollar number to it so we can put it in the budget.
You know, some of those recommendations, I don't see a big dollar sign before them. It's more, maybe the time will, once we get it established and set up, it shouldn't be that much after that. We can get one person, really, if it needs a little extra help, we can. But to get it set and get it going, once we do that and establish it, I think we can have, it's the same thing like we have like a little seminar or something, and just bring them in. We could even have them right here. We'll work on it.
So as staff goes through, if you have any questions, Mayor, we'll reach out to the individual chairmen of each of the committees and ask them to give us clarification on just exactly.
And as far as the cleaning goes and keeping the good image of the city, you know, that's something that we're gonna have to make those adjustments there at Public Works, and make sure that we're more on top of that.
Absolutely.
See where the problems are, find out what's causing them, and get to the root of it, and start addressing it. So I think that in itself, and then, you know, we can come up with some other ideas that'll also improve the image of our city. So I think working together, and again, we have two great task force with the members on it that are doing a tremendous job. I thank each and every one of you for putting your time and effort and giving us, you know, that point of view that you're out there getting the pulse and speaking with people. Sometimes we speak with those same people, but on different issues. I think you guys are actually looking at the root of the problem and bringing it before us. So, of course, we'll continue. We'll keep you posted, Aaron, on that, so that you can keep the task force also informed, and if we need to bring them together in something else, we'll definitely reach out. And once we get our things going on, we'll communicate that to you, so you can give us an opinion how it looks, how we can improve on it. You know, let us know. So thank you again very much for your efforts, and we'll make sure that those efforts weren't, you know, just words out there in the air. We're going to make sure we support those recommendations. Thank you. Anything else from council? Okay. Got so many papers here, I lost my schedule. All right. We're going to discussion items, number 6, and line 1 is discussion and possible action on selection and appointment of city's next city manager.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to clarify for the record. You mentioned here that you as a mayor and the council requested this item. I wasn't even aware of it. So I really appreciate the next time, let me know, or just include the name of the council that requested the item.
Okay, point it again, we'll just put the names that
Yes.
Placed it out there.
That's also an item.
I think that's kind of generic, that sometimes they put mayor and council when it comes from a mayor or council member. Mr. Kissinger?
Yes, sir. And this particular item, when we first put it together, it was at an item that was requested from staff to put on the next agenda.
I guess
it was.
I guess that's what happened.
It was brought up in mayor and council, but then the agenda was amended, and now I think that portion was amended.
Because when they asked me, I wasn't even, you know, they start calling me, and I said, well, I wasn't even aware of it.
I know what you mean. Sometimes I see mayor there and I have nothing to do with it.
So it'll be a,
but I'll take your point, and we'll make sure that it's clarified on who's putting it on the agenda. Yes, Mark. Vice Mayor.
I thought I was one that had requested it at the last meeting that we act on it, but be that as it may, I feel that it was needed, it was kind of pushing the item and just to follow up on some of the things that Jaime brought up earlier from the committee. I felt a lot of the frustration and lack of progress on certain issues and projects and then I expressed those to the previous manager and we are slowly trying to address those and additionally there are some organizational issues that Jaime pointed out with department head positions and other positions that we need to act on and trying to figure out how to move forward. I don't think we can afford to wait to go through a long protracted recruitment process. So I started looking at a short-term solution of can we get a manager in here to help us now to address some of these things, to get us through the budget process, to look at some of these organizational issues, to look at some of these capital projects that we've had pending for some time, and just to get that process, keep it going or get us through the process, and also assist us with the recruitment of the next city manager. And so I kind of racked my brain, was thinking, who could do this? And I came up with a list of people that could do it. Then I asked myself, who would actually do it? And the list got pretty short after that because given our track record and the situation that we're in, not a lot of people would be in a position to, I guess, put their career at risk and take a job on a short-term basis. I guess one thing that happened to sort of made things possible was the county did not renew the county manager's contract, and that left Carlos Rivera sort of open, and I looked at him as a possibility. And I spoke with Carlos and asked him if he would consider working on a short-term basis to help us with the things that I just addressed. And he came back to me and said that he would be willing to do it for an 8-month process. And I asked him to give me what he would need, and he sent me an email and he said he would like basically to keep his salary. So for the 8-month process, it came out to $88,000. For his benefits, he said he would like to have his health benefits or all the benefits that are afforded other employees. He would like to have those same benefits. Same with, he would like to have an accrued time off rate at 10 hours per pay period to be used during that time frame. And he also basically said that he would be allowed to use a city vehicle for city business. And if one wasn't available, that he would get reimbursed for mileage just like anybody else that uses their personal vehicle. Pretty simple stuff, and I thought that was pretty acceptable. And so with that, Mayor, what I would like to do is make a motion that we appoint Carlos Rivera as the city manager for a period not to exceed 8 months, starting February 29th and ending October 30th, with a salary of $88,000, and have staff prepare a contract to incorporate the terms and conditions that I brought up.
For an 8-month period?
Correct.
Okay, we have a
I'll
motion.
second it.
We have a second, discussion?
Discussion?
Yes.
Mayor, we had Mr. Dilly here. As the Economic Task Force says, he saved us over 5 years, $680,000 per year for a period of 5 years. Now that's a chunk of change. The idea behind, if I recall your words, behind letting Mr. Dilly go was to save 2 months of his salary, which was $30,000 or something like that. So now we paid Mr. Dilly 4 months to leave early. Now we want to get a new person in as a city manager and pay him. Where's the savings? Where's our money going? Isn't that money that money's not spent right? We're not doing a favor to the citizens of Nogales. We have Mr. Kissinger. He's acting as deputy city manager. He's doing a good job. He knows everything that goes on here. He's always here for all our council meetings. Why can't he take over as city manager while we look for a city manager? I think we should go through the hiring process.
He cannot make the appointments that are going to be needed to be made. And And the thing is that there's a few other things that legally he will be, won't be able to do. So, we have, Mr. Rivera that competed with Mr. Dilly over there when they were applying up in Yuma. One of the things that, about Mr. Rivera is that he knows the area, he's almost a native, he's been here over 15 years, I believe, and at the same time, he's bilingual. He knows the community well. He's worked well with the city in the past as county manager. So I believe for a short term to come in, he would probably come in, you know, running. And again, he's a lot less than what we were paying Mr. Dilly. And so he's not asking for as much in those fringe benefits. I believe that he will be able to get the job done until and at the same time, we'll be continuing to seek for the county manager that he has in mind, that's going to be looking down the road for the changes that are coming to Nogales. Who knows? Maybe he might be down, maybe 8 months down the road, you might say, I make a recommendation that we keep Mr. Rivera. But in 8 months, we'll find out, you know, what direction we are headed in. I believe we're going to be headed in the right direction. And if we have somebody else in mind at that time, well, we'll be able to make that decision then. Yes, Councilwoman?
Mr. Mayor, you already had in mind Mr. Rivera before coming to the meeting?
Did I have it in mind?
Yeah. I wasn't even aware. But you four, of course, you already had it in mind? That's my question.
No.
You didn't know about it?
No, Mr. Vice
Lucero
Mayor
was the only one.
was the one that got contacted, and he did contact me. And
what about you, Mr. Rojas? Were you aware of it? Or not?
Was I aware of that? I was not aware of that.
Oh, you were not?
No, I was not aware of that. I know that we were looking for people. I was aware of that, just like you were.
No, I wasn't even aware.
No, you weren't
I'm
aware
sorry.
that we were looking for someone after Shane Dillon?
Oh, no, we were aware of that.
That's-
But I wasn't even aware that it was in the agenda,
No.
and now they already come with a name.
Mr. Mayor, did our HR director know about this? Does he have anything to say about
That's a
Mr.
good
Rivera?
Well, that's a
You know,
good
my
question,
respects to
but,
Mr. Rivera.
I don't know our HR director has been here long enough to know exactly what's going on, but if you would like to comment on it, you're more than welcome to.
Councilman, in all fairness to Mr. Piñon, the appointment of the city manager is a council function, so he wouldn't have
Just briefly, I wasn't
anything
aware
to
of
say about it and so on, and he wouldn't be expected to be aware of the process that's going on.
But as a courtesy, wouldn't he,
Well,
as a
as a
courtesy?
courtesy, yeah, but I just wanted, I didn't want to put Mr. Piñon on the spot, because that's not fair to him.
You already said, you were not
I
aware.
was not aware of any of this. We're prepared to take direction regarding our recruitment and get going with that, but this other aspect, no knowledge of that.
Yeah, it's nothing that, it's something that I spoke with the vice mayor since the last meeting and said, we're gonna have to move in that direction, we're gonna have to get a list. We were thinking about getting an interim. Again, legal, told me that there were certain legal issues involved. So I mostly discussed it with my vice mayor, because something happens to me, he's the one that's gonna be running the city.
Mr. Mayor, just to clarify, we did look at, I spoke with Mr. Kissinger, for him to be the interim manager, he would have to give up his protected position and would be at will, and he indicated that he would not be willing to do that, which would be the case with all the department heads. So in order for anybody to act in an interim position, they would be giving their protected classification up. Not to say they couldn't do the job, but they just wouldn't be willing to do that, considering the circumstances. In speaking with our city attorney, an acting manager in Mr. Kissinger's position cannot appoint or remove department heads. So we would be basically listless for a period of time until we got a manager. That's why it was my feeling that we should act and get somebody in place during a short period of time to keep us moving and address the issues that, some of the issues that Mr. Chamberlain addressed earlier. We can start moving forward together, or we can continue to flounder and attack each other and not go anywhere. I'm just making a recommendation on how to move forward. It's council's decision. I've made my position clear, and Mr. Mayor, I think we should just vote on it.
Yeah, well,
Mayor,
pardon?
I was after Dennis Miller for a position, and I went after him. He's not in health-wise, not doing real good right now. But later on, I don't know if he'll be able to apply.
Now, Mr. Mayor, I was not aware of that. Okay, I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying as a council, we sometimes move. And we don't have to be asking permission, we're doing what we can for the city. But I wasn't aware of that cover, but that's okay. I mean, I've worked with Dennis Miller, and I think he's a good man. But I'm saying, those things happen. People go out and talk. I don't think that we necessarily have to call, and ask for permission as the mayor, as the vice mayor moved, and the mayor was moving, and we were all aware that we didn't have a city manager. That's all I'm saying.
And as you mentioned, just why don't you let us know? I called you, Mr. Mayor, left a message in your phone and left a message with your secretary. When I saw it in the agenda, you never called me back. And I wanted,
When was this?
Today, because that's when I saw it in the agenda. I left the message in your phone and I left you a message with your secretary.
I was busy. I was in the office most of the day, and so I wasn't able to get to.
Now, Mr. Mayor, this is an amended agenda, is that correct?
Yes.
I know that I saw another agenda, and I believe that there wasn't clarity on that one, but this is an amended agenda. Is that correct? Now, it doesn't state it here.
Well, this happened recently.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't something that.
So things
in the
are
last couple of
occurring.
days is when I was aware of that we had a possible candidate.
It's an amended
And it
agenda.
still wasn't a sure thing. But
That's what I'm saying.
that's where we're at right now, that at least we have a candidate that can do the job. And I believe that according to everything else that's popped up in the radar with legal and whatnot, I believe we can achieve that goal, and I thank Vice Mayor Lucero for taking the initiative and helping me out on that, because when we said we needed to head in that direction as soon as possible, that's when I asked him, I said, Vice Mayor, we need to work together on this. I'm gonna need your help. And I know that in the past, he's been a county manager, he's had a lot of experience. I think more than anyone else here in this council. And that's the reason he's vice mayor, because, he has vast experience, vast knowledge, that he can take this city at any moment in the best direction that I believe our task forces have had. So, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mayor, just to give some clarification, Carlos was deputy county manager underneath me for about 10 years. During that time, I think we at the county were able to amass about $14–15 million in savings over that period of time. Carlos succeeded me and has kept the county afloat. I still think there's somewhere in the area about $10 to $12 million in savings. So I think he's very capable of keeping the financial shape of the city upright and moving in the right direction. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to call the question.
Well, okay, let's put it to a vote, and it was to select for the next 8 months, I guess, Mr. Rivera as our city manager.
Mr. Mayor, why don't you do a roll call?
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote, and we'll start, Nick, we'll start right here, I guess. Yes, I'll start. I vote yes to have, as our next city manager, Carlos Rivera.
Mr. Acosta?
No.
Mr. Rojas?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lucero?
Yes.
Mr. Parada?
Yes.
Mrs. Lopez?
No.
Mr. Diaz?
My respects to Mr. Rivera, I think we should go through the recruitment process. No.
Okay, I guess,
4-3.
shows 4-3 and motion carried. We'll let Mr. Rivera know, he has been selected as our city manager. And down the road, if, depending how things turn, we will take that after that contract's coming close to an end, see if we go in that direction, in case it changes. But I believe that we got a good candidate here that's going to do a good job. I think we've all had the opportunity to work with Mr. Rivera in the past. He has, as far as I have seen, he's a very honest person, has high integrity, very efficient. So I think we're fortunate that it's just worked out that he was available at this time that we have this meeting. So thank you, Council, for bringing this issue and filling this void that we have. And again, I believe everybody will be pleased working with him in the future. Thanks again, and we'll go to the next item, which is, I put this one on. Number 2, discussion and possible action of why former city manager Shane Gilly did not turn in his laptop, computer, cell phone, and other city equipment on time. He made an agreement with me. He didn't fulfill it. I didn't hear from him, and that's why I put it on. Now, I believe he called some of. Yes, go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I spoke with Shane Dilly this morning, and he sent his apologies. He said he was out of town with his family. He had made arrangements with staff to drop off the equipment, and by no means did he mean to disparage any agreement that he had with you or the city. And he had indicated to me that he would be here Monday to turn in the equipment. With that, Mr. Mayor, I think I'd like to table this item.
I'll second that.
With that, I withdraw and I guess we have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. We'll wait for Monday, I guess we said. And taking care of that, we'll go with the consent agenda. That's mostly sometimes the favorite part of the evening. Okay, second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. A, B, C, D. Aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Motion carried. Under number 8, orders. Line 1. Consideration and possible action of order 2016-02-009. Do we have a motion?
Second.
Okay, second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Number 2, consideration and possible action of order 2016-02-012. So we have a motion. Okay, second. All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Number 3, consideration and possible action of order 2016-02-010, and in order of the Council of the City of Nogales, Arizona, approving various contracts with Nissan Asphalt contractors for the fog sealing, chip sealing, crack sealing, and various streets within the City of Nogales. So we have a motion to approve. Do we have any discussion?
I have a discussion.
Yes.
I wanted to ask Charles Street to that chip and seal because I paid my bills for on the special district and it never completed the street many years back, and I have all the receipts.
That's a little short street of about 30 yards.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be added to this again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have to come back.
We'll come back. Will there be room and time to move on that?
Well, we'll prepare an action item for mayor and council's approval of the chip sealing of Charles Street for your next.
The next meeting, that the next meeting's gonna be the 17th?
Well, we have a special meeting on the 17th, we can have it ready for the 17th, if not, we can try to get it on next month.
All right, Councilman, we'll let you place that at a future date.
Okay. I got all the receipts and it never went back to commission.
Okay. So,
Charles Street.
so is there any more discussion?
No.
Okay, seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. And we have the last one, number 4. Consideration and possible action of order 2016-02-011.
So move.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
So just so that, I don't know where Mr.
He was right here.
Just so we're clear, I think the county has already reviewed the elections agreement, and that's gonna be okay, no? But the other 2 agreements, there may be additional changes to them. So we're sending in what we're approving with the understanding that there may be some changes that'll come back. Okay?
Slight change.
Yeah, and we'll clarify that. I've drafted a letter for the mayor's signature, sending the agreements over with that explanation. And that was okay with Mr. Breach, I think.
Yeah, well, we're gonna, I guess, by approving it, we'll send it forward to them. They will let us know of the changes, the minor changes that they so desire. And then between legal, I guess we'd be able
To work it out.
work it out. So, saying all that, any more discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. You stepped out at the moment that you're discussing, probably the issue you were waiting for all night.
I know, well, you know, the call of nature,
Oh, I'm sorry.
doesn't wait.
It's pretty much what you stated earlier. We passed the motion to any differences on that supervisor, we would work out in the near, let legal work it out with your legal.
Well, absolutely, because I saw you, and I didn't think you were gonna get to it that quickly. But anyway, Mr. Mayor, Honorable, I had the opportunity to talk to many of you at the sister city program down there, and I kind of mentioned it to you, I also want to thank the vice mayor, because I had talked to him about it. I know Joe and Robert, but Mayor, we're there to work together. And I think that as long as we have that kind of communication open between both our staffs and these both elected bodies, we can do a lot. And I think there were some great presentations today from economic development to tourism. And in order for us to be a viable community, we have to work together. There's no question in my mind. It's something that we all talk about come election time, but I think we have the opportunity to really make it work. And I know that the commitment that I see from Joe and Esther, I know Mrs. Lopez loves the cultural things, which I think are important, and I think we need to do more of that, and I think Mr. Moreno mentioned that. And those are issues, Mayor, that we can really work together to really solidify and make this a very viable community, as has been stated here very eloquently by the 2 chairmen of the 2 previous committees. So we look forward to acting on the 2 IGAs that we want to work out some of the language. The elections, thank God it's over. The citizens can feel comfortable that we are working together, that they will be able to go to one polling place and be able to cast ballots for both city candidates and county and state candidates. So thank you, and again, I'm always available if you guys want to sit down and meet with me. I'm there, that's what we're there to work for. So thank you, and I appreciate your support.
I just want to ask one thing, Supervisor. I don't know if that was an invitation to working together with you, working together on
cultural events. Maybe, you know, the past, I think the city's always done their support, but maybe we can join our efforts and
And I
support.
know the vice mayor is going to write a check on behalf of the county, but, Mr. Mayor, I will give you my word that I will talk with our incoming manager and see, because unfortunately is that, and Mr. Musetta can attest to this, as a county government, we are governed by what the state legislature says we can or can't do. You, on the other hand, as a charter government, have much more of a leeway of doing some of those things. I know that because of what has been happening, there has been some legislation that has passed on how we can use some of the money, whether it's, I know that the county attorney's office usually gives money.
Think of us as a fair.
Well, and maybe that's a way to look at it, but I will gladly speak with our incoming manager and talk to her and mention to her, and maybe if it's not money, maybe it's an in-kind service. So that's still a contribution that will help, because we always forget that the city is part of the county and the county is part of the city, so.
I don't forget it. I'll keep reminding you there.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity to address you, and look forward to working on many more projects together. Thank you.
Likewise here. Thank you for coming over and appreciate your presence.
May I be
Now you
excused
can,
now?
now you can. Let's see. Thank you. So, I guess, I don't know, you have a report to give tonight?
I just want to remind you that we have that study session scheduled for the 17th. I'm only aware of a couple of items that will be on there. One of the items that we'd like to bring to you would be that notice of intent to proceed for the rates. And I'll talk with you, Mr. Mayor, and see, make sure that would be good on that. Or Carlos can talk to you, I don't know when he'll be here, but we'll make sure we get that done. And then we're gonna have the presentation by our finance department on the city's finances, where we're at, and what we're looking for next year's budget.
We're kind of looking forward to that.
Other than that, Mr. Mayor, I know that we put, if you haven't looked into your boxes, we put some bereavement notices in your boxes. And we've sent those by email, so if you run into some of those employees, make sure that you're aware of that, so you can offer your condolences. Mr. Mayor, that's all we want to have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kissinger, for that report. Do we have on number 10, do we have any future agenda items?
Mr. Mayor, I want you please to include classification and funding for the Fiestas de Mayo event on our next meeting.
Next meeting.
Discussion and possible action.
Okay, and you'll be writing the language for that?
Yes.
I noticed that you and...
I had some.
I'm addressing the council.
Okay.
I guess you had
I had it on this agenda.
You had it, and it was, I guess, you had the other councilmen, there were also Councilman Diaz and Councilman Acosta, to talk about but before the reason I took it off kind of at the last moment, Councilwoman, was because I realized that all four of us were talking about the same issue. And I didn't want to put it on the agenda without bringing it out first to the public, because we might, I don't know, we have to check with legal, but we might be in violation of the open meeting law. So if we don't, because all four of us, I wasn't in communication with all four of you, with you, but the other two councilmen were in communication with you. So it still adds up to four under the same issue.
Are we supposed to be together to make it a violation?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that we probably need to address, because there was on the paper there was 3 councilmen and then myself. Well, that makes it 4, and I didn't want to put ourselves in a bad light that we were communicating something that might be a violation of the open meeting law. So,
In any event, if we put it on the agenda, then you can discuss it fully in open meeting, that will ratify.
and but that's why I pulled it out, just to play it safe and get a legal, cover us, so we wouldn't get a problem.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, please?
Yes, go ahead.
I didn't sign off on the request to put it on the agenda.
See, I know
didn't sign
that,
off.
Councilman.
And it was just a a suggestion to put it on the agenda with no specifics.
Right.
Or nothing, just put it on future agenda items for discussion.
But you know,
Possible
to
action.
make sure that we're all covered, I didn't know to what extent it was discussed between you and I knew I was involved in it, so the best thing to do is play it safe. We can always, you know, now that we put that out in the open, we can put it on the agenda and then discuss it. So I just wanted you to know why it wasn't, why it was taken off the agenda. That was the reason. Thank you.
And,
Okay.
mine wasn't put on you.
Oh, Councilman, that was an oversight, miscommunication. Yours was taken off also, but that was an oversight. Sorry about that, we can always put it back on. But there was no real reason, just an oversight. So I guess that was about it. I don't think I stepped on anyone else that I stepped on their toes. No, I think those were the two that were pulled out. And the other one was because I got the information at that same time about our city manager. So instead of furthering the process of seeking, I decided to change it so that we could discuss I guess that we had a candidate now, and so that's why I changed that and placed it on the agenda.
I will request for future, let us know at least.
Okay, that's
A phone call, that's it.
Move to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion for adjournment. Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you for your participation.